Let's take a look at another problem here where they're asking you to find all the zeros or all the roots, all the zeros, all the x-intercepts of the function. And they're also telling you that x equals 2 is a zero of the function. So when I take the big polynomial and divide it by x minus this value here, I will get some other polynomial up here that may be able to be factorable, or it might be able to use the quadratic equation, and I can find the other zeros besides the one they gave me here. So let's do the long division here. I think if I want to get an x cubed down here, I've got to have an x squared up there. So x squared times x is x cubed minus 2x squared. I'm just going to do my division here and work this out. Get a 0 there. Minus 6 plus 2 is a minus 4x squared. Bring the 12x down and do it again. To get a minus 4x squared down here, I would have to have, it looks like a minus 4x up here. Minus 4x squared is what I get. A minus 4x times a minus 2 is a plus 8x. Now when I do my subtraction here, I'm going to get 0 here. 12 minus 8 is a plus 4x. There we go. Now I bring this 8 down here, minus 8. And what I get here is I've got my x. The only way it's going to get a 4x down here is if I multiply by x up top. So that's going to be, I'm sorry, I said x, I meant plus 4. Okay, so now 4 times x minus 2 will be a 4x minus 8. Oh, and that works out perfectly. When I subtract this, once again, I get no remainder. Oops, can't write here. No remainder is what that's trying to say. All right, so what does this all mean? It's a very good question if you ask yourself that. And what this means is that x squared minus 4x plus 4, okay, is going to be what's left over the polynomial once I pull out that first factor. So f of x now looks like this now that I factored it. Remember I had x minus 2, I think, right? That's what I had up here. They told me this was 1, 0, so I pull that out in this factor. And when I divided it into the bigger polynomial, I got this up here. So that now comes down here. What is it again? X squared minus 4x plus 4. X squared minus 4x plus 4. And now all I got to do is factor this. Okay, so is this factorable? Looks to me like I'm going to have a plus minus. I'll have an x there and an x there. This still is out here, right? Just ignore that for now. But I'm going to get a plus 4, so they've got to be either minus minus plus plus. So if I can do this, I should get a minus 2 plus 2. Let's see. Will that work? Will something add to minus 4 and multiply to plus 4? If I do these two, I think so. Right, I get a minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 times minus 2 is a plus 4. So there we go. What I've got here is I have 3 times the same root. I have x equals 2, and it happens 3 times. Really, if this is a cubic function, we know cubic functions tend to look like this. Okay, except that I know that this one is going to cross at x equals 2. So there's x equals 1, there's x equals 2. This cubic is going to cross there. It's going to go up like that. It's going to go down like that, and I don't know where. The other thing I keep forgetting is, what's my y-intercept? Plug in 0 for that x, and that becomes 0. Plug in a 0 for that x, this term becomes 0. Plug in a 0 for that x, this term becomes 0. My y-intercept is minus 8. So this should cross way down here at minus 8. Okay. That tells me something else about the graph. So really, I should make sure that it hits here at minus 8. But that's my cubic right there, and that's that problem.